this weekend. 17-game season is basically confirmed. That'll be voted in this week. We've been talking about this for weeks, and I'm not just like doing the whole...
No.
I'm not doing that whole thing. But as soon as I heard 17-game season, it was going to happen, it kind of got slid into the conversation piece. It was almost like in Washington, D.C., when they pass a bill. It's about something, and then there's like 7,000 pages of shit just getting shoved in behind it.
Yep.
Some other conversation point stole the show. Maybe it was COVID. Maybe it was a salary cap. Maybe it was something else. And then in that back there was the 17-game season is coming. Sky Judge got a little... There's a 17-game season coming, and we knew that this was possible when the new CBA got signed. We didn't know when it was going to come. Then inevitably with the COVID, ticket and all those losses go down, they were going to have to add a game. That was kind of like their ace in the hole that they had all the time for these media deals. We're going to add another game. Here we go. We got it. Now a lot of players are reacting around the internet saying 17 games. Wait a fucking minute. That sounds like a bunch of bullshit. We knew people were not going to be excited about this in the NFL because if you get to week 17 with, one bye, 16 games in the regular season, how it is now, you got guys crawling towards the finish. Now, I'm not saying that the playoffs aren't the most important, but when the playoffs, normally a lot of the teams that are there are the teams that have been able to survive health-wise. If you're going to add another game onto the regular season, you're looking at these players, a lot of these players who get hit a lot of these guys who get hurt a lot, or not hurt a lot, but in positions to get hurt a lot. They add an extra game. There's no extra bye week. This thing kind of got slid in there. They agreed to it in the new CBA, which I think they were all very concerned about as well, how the NFL was able to talk to the NFLPA in this new CBA, and basically anytime they want to drop this 17th game in there, they can drop the 17th game in there. So I think the players had a whirlwind of a weekend. For us, though, I think the big conversation should be, if you go 10-7, you're a shit team.
Yeah.
Wow. That sounds bad. Hey, the players hate this, okay? And I think we are going to be very, interested in seeing how many teams make it through the regular season. Or are there guys resting? Are they changing up what they're going to do during the weeks? Like, this is a big deal. There was a lot of people sending messages to Kamara and other players. Oh, you're playing a fucking kids game. Like, get with it, all right? You get to play the game and all this stuff. You should be playing for love of the game. One more game. You should be happy you get another chance to play. It's like, I understand where you're coming from because when you played in high school, it probably was for love of the game. But whenever the NFL decides to stop selling the tickets for profit, jerseys for profit, beer for profit, nachos for profit, instead of just love of the game and maybe just enjoying the show, and whenever the media just gives away, when you don't have to pay for the games, when they're just doing it for love of the game, just for exposure, and when everybody's doing everything for love of the game, then we can have that conversation. But whenever it is a business, which is exactly what it is, that's how you have to view it. I wonder what's going to happen now with the salary cap, though. So, is every player just going to get, in pursuant to what they were paid the first 17 weeks, just another check? And then does that check count against the salary cap then? Or are they getting paid what they think the contracts are right now? Another week is getting added in, and their salaries are going to drop for how much they are each week. Because then are they going to have to, is the salary cap going to have to be a fluctuating one because each player's individual week check is different? I don't know. See, that's a whole nother bag that is eventually going to get in. Because if guys aren't getting paid more money and their contracts are remaining the same and another game is getting added, you could see how a lot of guys are like, hey, NFLPA, what the fuck did we agree to? Whoa. So this will all kind of get figured out this week. There's some news there.
Hey.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think about that? So that clip of Bruce Arians, you think Roger Goodell and the NFL is actively trying to scrub that from the internet because it doesn't help the whole narrative with the players for the 17-game season?
Hey, BA, we got fucking 17 games. You can't be saying you're going to beat the shit out of these guys. Okay, BA, you're the Super Bowl champ now. I mean, you were tampering with free agents at your Super Bowl parade. I mean, you're like, come on, what's going on? Imagine if Roger Goodell was not happy about it at all. 17 games, though, I think we're going to learn a lot about. That's just one more opportunity for a potential key player to have something happen right before the most important. Now, the matchups are pretty dope, though. AFC versus NFC. Every team, 17th game, is based on the ratings or the rankings within their division from 2019 season, I guess, which is when I think the Patriots were in third place. No, third place. Division, yep. So they're going against third place in another division, and you got some big-time games. Green Bay and Kansas City are playing. That's huge.
It is huge, but what if both of them already are locked up and Aaron and Pat Mahomes don't play?
Well, is it necessarily definitely the 18th week?
Oh, yeah. Is it?
I don't think, right?
Well, no, I guess you can shove it in anywhere.
But it is kind of all laid out right here.
Yeah. AFC.
So is this the pre-playoffs game? Like, do we already have week 18 already locked in?
He does say it's the 17th game, so it has to be the
No,
18th.
it just
No, because that could be one of 17.
It is one of 17.
But when they first were talking about it, wasn't that what we thought they were doing? Is the last week of the season before the playoffs was
What's
these like
this?
showcase games? Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, that would make sense.
Imagine the TV money if that was a part of it. That's why it's 11 years, 110 billion.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we have wild card weekend, but think about this before then. We got showcase weekend. What do you mean? Yeah, the AFC's playing the NFC. We're having interconference matchups that won't happen or only happen once every 5 years or something like that. That's right going into wild card weekend, which, by the way, 3-3, and then we got another one, and then another one. Oh,
yeah.
And they got Amazon Bezos. It's like, all right, fucking A. Here. Here's $1 billion.
Take it.
All right, ESPN's like, here, you got it, bro. Just give us a couple more options, maybe. Boom, boom, boom. What a move by them. And the players are just sitting there getting a 1/17th bonus.
That's the funny thing. Like, how does that work out? And also, when are they going to expand the playoffs? Don't you think they're going to add another one to
Yeah,
that
because they did
eventually?
this past year. They did, right? They did this.
I think they're going to expand even more because those are the money games.
Hey, by the way, Super Wild Card Weekend was so sweet. It was so sweet.
Best.
Like, are people going to really complain if they add another playoff game? Do you think?
The players will.
Yeah, right.
I think. Actually, no, because you get a chance to make the playoffs, so it's a win-win.
And you get extra money that you weren't counting on.
And the fans get another game. Guess what? You get to play in England. This will be called the European playoff game. Oh. It's like a play-in game. You basically get
That would be awesome.
maybe.
Well, then they
Play-in game in Europe.
Game in Europe.
And they go back to the top two teams getting a bye.
Yeah, and then, by the way, move this thing back 3 more weeks. Do the Super Bowl in March.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Here
God.
we go.
March Madness? Oh.